of Ghana is a Nigerian Day Pleasure, bringing you political news in our channel, Ghanatube. Here are the recent happening right here in Ghana. Please watch.
Marina, if you can hear me, can you tell us exactly what's happening where you are? Have the MP started trickling in as expected?
Right, and so Alfred, exactly that. The MPs continue to trickle in at this particular point in time, but outside of that, we're picking word, in fact, firm confirmation on the ground that the Court of Appeals court processes, which were expected to have been served on Parliament a lot earlier, that has been done at about this time. My colleague Komla Kluche has just been getting the scoops with respect to that. He's joined me right now with full details and confirmation with respect to what these injunction applications are and which specific constituencies they will be affecting. Komla, you've got the details. Walk us through it right now as you've been getting it.
Okay, so what we know is that the bailiffs of the court have served the processes on Parliament. This was done just shortly after the dissolution of the 8th this afternoon, and the constituencies are the Tema Central, Techiman South, and Okaikwe Central. These are the ones the NDC has taken to the appeals court, and they have filed an appeal, and if they have equally filed a stay of execution. Parliament has been put on notice. My understanding is that the individual MPs also, which I've not been able to confirm from those individual MPs, but what my sources are saying is to the effect that yes, these MPs have equally been served, and so they are aware. And for now, it beholds on Parliament as an institution, and whoever the Speaker is going to be, hearing Speaker Backbone, to make that decision or to take that decision whether to go ahead with it or otherwise. A lot of lawyers have explained it. The mere fact that you've filed a process, especially if it's a stay of execution, it does not necessarily mean that you cannot go out. It's a risk that they can take. But there is also the other argument, the other leg of an argument, that no, you need to hold on to it because its likely implications on the individual or the institution are quite dire, and so it now beholds on the Speaker. I've seen the deputy clerk who is in charge of registration, Camilo, right down there in the discussion with the Honorable Kwame Govins Agboja and Neelante Vanderpoy, and also yes, Ahmed. So he is in the spectacles. I'm not too sure what the discussion is all about, but I'm sure all of this have been brought to the attention of the table office. If you say the table office, I mean the clerks are the ones in charge. The table office, yes, the desk just in front of the Speaker. That is what we call the table office. But I mean, it's quite clear now that yes, of course, the NDC has been working tirelessly. We already know what the situation with Fantiakwa is, and we also know of Akwetia. If it's anything to go by, it means that the NDC has been working hard to ensure that these MPs do not get sworn in. And if the Speaker will want to go by it, that will remain a decision of his. As to whether they are even going to enter the chamber, it's also another matter altogether. But as we speak, we do not even find a single MPP MP right in the chamber as of yet. And so the confirmation is that yes, the processes have been served on Parliament. I mean, as we speak now, we do not have a Speaker. The 8th has already been dissolved, and so until that is done, and so the table office will have to inform the new Speaker about what the processes are, and then the Speaker will have to take the decision as to whether to go ahead and swear them in or otherwise. That is, if they make their way into the chamber. And so we'll just have to wait patiently to see what the actions of Speaker Backbone, who already has made known to the public his stance on it and what action he will take. So it's quite a dire thing that we will still have to do monitoring of and see to what extent this is going to go. But quite clearly, it's quite obvious that the NDC doesn't want those MPs sworn in because the matter is yes, as we speak now.
Right, Komla, thank you. And so, Komla, with the details there, but if you go back onto the floor of the House, you continue to see a lot more of the NDC MPs who've come through. And interestingly, the Asante Akim North Member of Parliament is seen hugging outgoing Odododio MP Nilante Vanderpoy, and he has already taken a seat behind the majority, the right-hand side of the Speaker, which is the majority side. He's also indicated his willingness to caucus with the NDC, and he's made his way onto the floor of Parliament and has been seated there. But we get a sense that a lot more of them will be seeking to do that.
We get that indication, not just him, and we already know. I think about two more MPs, the Afram Plains South also has.
There's one other seat up in the north.
Yes, they've all made their intentions quite clear. That's I think
that's Willency.
Absolutely. And these are NDC members who had issues with the party but went independent. The Brokrands went independent and then they won. But they have equally registered their interest in doing business with the NDC. The issue about A+ as well has come in this morning. There was some fire on his page, and it does appear he's equally going to be doing business with the NDC as well. So it appears that the independent candidates of course you can understand why that is, because one, your constituents need development, and if you're siding with an opposition party, how are you going to get resources, to that effect to do it? And of course, you equally need to have a special relationship with your district chief executive or your municipal chief executive. If that is not done, how do you expect to get the relationship and the development that you need? The MP is a development agent. They need to lobby. It will be easier for you if you do business with the side that controls the purse. And so I can understand how that is. For A+, many people have said, oh, well, I mean, he will
firebrand in his nature and all of that.
He will really show that true independence. I mean, we need to wait and see how it is. He has a lot of work to be done. And this morning we saw him take on quite heavily the general secretary of the MPP. So of course it's quite clear it's not going to say whether. But I think one of the very important things, if you look also at the nomenclature and how the MPs are going to be seated, they are likely, from indications. Okay, yeah. So we will get that bit when we speak to Roslyn Dafiamekpo on this. But I mean, with the way the numbers are, it's really clear that there's going to be a spillover into the other side. But what remains key is to the effect that the MPP has registered, and I put on notice that they are not going to be a walkover, and I trust that they are not going to be a walkover, knowing the caliber of leaders they have now. People may see or say that their numbers are few, and a lot of descriptions herein given to them, but they are not going to be a walkover. They will register their stance on issues, and they will not take it lightly when they have to make their points very well known and clear.
We were just seeing Sam George as well coming in some very traditional regalia at this particular point in time, much to the cheers of his colleagues. But just on that point, Komla makes as well with respect to the NPP, who will be the minority soon, not being a walkover. Their leader, Alexander Penyo-Markin, earlier today when he was delivering his speech towards the dissolution of the 8th Parliament, made it very categorical statement. You touch one, you've touched all, and that's the position they are taking into the 9th Parliament. We're still seeing a lot more of the clerks' pictures being taken here and there, and preparations really underway. We're going to be hearing from Roxy Nelson Dafiamekpo shortly. He'll join us, and then we can perhaps also subject these latest we're getting with respect to the the court bailiffs having serving the injunction applications and the likes on Parliament as well. But this is what the House is looking like at this particular point in time. And Alfred, that's what we know at this particular point in time. Injunction applications been served. We are waiting to see really how it all plays out when the clerk will be expected to begin that roll call, and whether or not there will be acrimony, animosity, or misunderstanding really from the side of the NDC with regards to these constituencies which are still under litigation, and then we can be